Self-doubt often feels like a quiet voice in the background, but in reality, it tells powerful lies that can shape your entire life if left unchecked. One of the most damaging lies is the belief that you are not ready, not capable, or not worthy of success. And this illusion tends to grow stronger the more you delay taking action. Inspired by the timeless teachings of Joseph Murphy, the micro-win mindset offers a practical and deeply empowering way to challenge that inner narrative by focusing on small, consistent victories instead of overwhelming goals. Rather than waiting for a perfect moment or a major breakthrough, this approach encourages you to take simple, intentional steps every single day, proving to yourself that progress is always within reach. When you complete even the smallest task, whether it is organizing your workspace, finishing a short assignment, or sticking to a simple routine, you send a powerful message to your subconscious mind that you are capable of following through. Over time, these repeated actions begin to replace uncertainty with confidence. Not because something dramatic has changed overnight, but because you have built undeniable evidence of your own ability to move forward. The beauty of this mindset lies in its simplicity, as it removes the pressure of perfection and replaces it with a steady rhythm of growth that anyone can maintain. Instead of measuring success by unrealistic standards, you begin to value effort, consistency, and direction, which are far more reliable indicators of long-term achievement. As you continue stacking these micro-wins, your perspective naturally shifts, allowing you to see challenges not as proof of failure, but as opportunities to grow and refine your approach. This gradual transformation is exactly what weakens self-doubt, because it can no longer rely on a lack of evidence to support its claims. Each small success becomes a counter-argument, quietly but firmly reminding you that you're making progress, even if it feels slow at times. The process also builds resilience, as you learn to keep going regardless of temporary setbacks, understanding that one imperfect day does not erase your overall momentum. By embracing the micro-win mindset, you begin to take control of your internal dialogue, replacing negative assumptions with constructive beliefs rooted in real experience. This is not about ignoring fear or pretending that doubt does not exist, but about refusing to let it dictate your actions. Instead, you move forward with intention, one step at a time, knowing that every small win is shaping a stronger, more confident version of yourself, and ultimately proving that lasting confidence is not something you wait for, but something you build through consistent, daily effort. Another powerful lie that self-doubt often tells is that small efforts do not matter, convincing you that unless you achieve something big and noticeable, your actions are meaningless. This belief can quietly drain your motivation, making it easy to procrastinate or give up altogether because the outcome feels too far away to reach. However, when you begin to understand the principles emphasized by Joseph Murphy, you realize that the subconscious mind responds not to the size of your actions, but to the consistency and emotional conviction behind them. Every small step you take carries weight because it reinforces a pattern of behavior that your mind begins to accept as your identity. When you choose to complete a simple task, even when you do not feel like it, you are quietly reshaping your internal belief system, proving that you are disciplined, reliable, and capable of progress. Over time, these seemingly minor actions accumulate into something far greater than a single large effort ever could, because they create a stable foundation that supports long-term growth. The micro-win mindset teaches you to recognize and appreciate these moments, not as insignificant gestures, but as essential building blocks of success. When you start your day with a clear intention to achieve a few realistic goals, you remove the overwhelming pressure that often leads to inaction, replacing it with a sense of purpose and direction. Each completed task becomes a signal to your brain that you are moving forward, and this repeated reinforcement gradually strengthens your confidence. What once felt like a distant dream begins to feel more attainable, simply because you are consistently showing up and doing the work. This approach also changes the way you perceive time and progress, helping you understand that meaningful transformation does not happen overnight, but through steady, deliberate effort. Instead of waiting for motivation to appear, you rely on structure and habit, knowing that action itself creates the momentum you need to keep going. As your awareness grows, you begin to notice how even the smallest victories can shift your mood, increase your energy, and inspire you to take the next step. This creates a positive cycle where progress fuels motivation, and motivation leads to further progress. Self-doubt begins to lose its influence, not because it disappears completely, but because it no longer aligns with your lived experience. You have proof, day after day, that your actions matter and that your efforts are producing real results. By continuing to focus on these micro wins, you build a mindset that values persistence over perfection and action over hesitation. In doing so, you take back control from the limiting beliefs that once held you back, replacing them with a quiet but powerful confidence that grows stronger with every step you take. A third lie that self-doubt frequently repeats is the idea that progress must be fast, visible, and impressive in order to be valid, leading you to underestimate or even ignore the quiet growth that happens beneath the surface. This belief creates unnecessary pressure, making you feel as though you're falling behind if your journey does not match the speed or appearance of others. Yet, when you reflect on the teachings associated with Joseph Murphy, you begin to see that real transformation is an internal process before it ever becomes external. The micro-win mindset directly challenges this illusion by encouraging you to value steady, meaningful effort over rapid, unsustainable bursts of achievement. Instead of chasing quick results, you begin to focus on building habits that support long-term success, understanding that consistency is far more powerful than intensity. Each time you complete a small, intentional action, you're strengthening neural patterns that shape your behavior and influence your future decisions. These patterns may not be immediately visible, but they are quietly laying the groundwork for lasting change. As you continue to honor these small steps, you develop patience and trust in your own process, which weakens the urgency that self-doubt tries to create. You no longer feel the need to rush or compare yourself to others, because you recognize that your path is unique and unfolding at the right pace. This shift in perspective allows you to stay committed even when results seem slow, knowing that every effort is contributing to a larger outcome. Over time, the accumulation of these micro wins begins to produce noticeable results, not because you force them to happen quickly, but because you allowed them to grow naturally through consistent action. This approach also helps you build emotional resilience, as you learn to stay focused regardless of temporary setbacks or delays. Instead of interpreting slow progress as failure, you see it as part of the journey, a necessary phase that strengthens your discipline and clarity. The more you practice this mindset, the less power self-doubt has over your decisions, because it can no longer convince you that your efforts are insufficient. You have developed a deeper understanding of progress, one that is rooted in patience, persistence, and self-awareness. By embracing the micro-win mindset, you create a stable and sustainable path forward, where growth is not measured by how quickly you succeed, but by how consistently you show up and move ahead. In doing so, you replace the false urgency of self-doubt with a calm, confident belief in your ability to achieve meaningful results over time, proving that lasting success is built step by step, not all at once.